Okay guys, hope you're all doing well. I'll just jump straight into the video, which is storyboarding tips for those who can't draw like myself. Now, if you remember on our last video, we finished the script for Achan and Ngor Storytime, the first episode, the State House visit. Now, what I didn't mention in that video was adding the camera shots, which is basically the director's vision. So now when you have the script and you pass it to the director, he'll then go through and now write down like the camera shots, such as zoom in, as we have there. There are also other terms such as we also have cut to, long shot, two shot, medium shot. These are all terms that could be used to show the director's vision, so it's easy for the storyboard artist to draw it out and to visualize it. So moving on, as the title suggests, I can't draw. I'm not a really good drawer, so no laughing guys. As we go ahead with this video, I'll know if you're laughing. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to draw directly onto the computer or using pen and paper for those of you who are very traditional like myself. Okay, first things first, we must have our frame, which shows the camera. So everything in the frame is what will be on the screen. Then I'll be drawing the map, and just a quick map of the kingdom. Then we'll be drawing the palace. As you can see here, I'm drawing a tukul kind of shaped palace, very simple palace. Then we place it over here inside the kingdom. And then next, what we have within the kingdom, we'll have a area where there's a pond, not a pond, a lake, where in the future episodes we'll be doing we'll be showing some scenes there as well. Then we'll go on to do the villages where the people of the Panyok kingdom live, as they live a bit far away from the palace. So we'll put a few huts here. Oh, and then we have our grass, just to make it look like a, you know, like a little kingdom. And then we'll have the main grounds where most of the activities and functions take place, which is like a square. We'll put it over here, just like that. Okay, next thing, we put another text box below for where the writing will be. Then we'll be drawing an arrow, as because it's a zoom in, so we want to illustrate it using the arrow pointing towards, like it's zooming in. Then for the text, let's write zoom in on map of the little kingdom, whilst voiceover, once upon a time in the kingdom of Panyok, where we set our scene, that is where the dialogue will take place. Then we put the number one shot, so this is the first shot that we see. We'll save it, and then we go on to our next one. Draw another frame. Now this one will be inside the palace, where the king and the Prince Ngor are sitting down reading. So I'm drawing the armchair. You might have to just speed this up. Okay, so we have the shot now, which is a long shot as mentioned, and I've drawn the arrow to show that the queen and the princess will be walking into the shot. Now we put the text again, text box, to show the description of what will be happening in the scene. Let's just move that there, like that. And then we'll be writing the description now, which is like a long shot, king and son reading. And then it's the second shot, so number 2. We'll just save that one. Okay, so now what I also wanted to show you is that instead of just using the arrow to show the zoom in, you can also do another frame as the final frame of the end result of the zoom. And because it's still the same shot, you name it 1A. And if it's still the same shot, you can name it up to like 1A, 1B, 1C. So the final end result will be just a close-up of the palace like this, and then you write in the description again, which will just be a simple zoom in on the palace. Zoom in on the little kingdom Panyok. Then we put that one in between the first and the second shot. Then we save that one. So we go on to the second shot now. And instead of just relying on the arrow showing that they'll be walking in, you can do a separate shot where the king and queen, the queen and the princess are not in the shot. So that will be shot 2. Let's add the text here. And change that one to be number 2. And remove the queen and princess and the arrow, remove it from the shot. And then now we go on to make the second frame, but within the same shot, which we'll call it 2A, where we will then add the text. The long shot, King Adol is sitting on his armchair reading a newspaper with his son Prince Ngor sitting on the sofa also reading. Okay, let's save that one first. That should be done. For drawing directly onto the computer, I've used a very simple software called Moho Studio Debut 12 for amateurs. For the professionals, they use Pro, and it's relatively affordable. Now, going on to the traditional pen and paper methods. So we're going on to the next shot where it's the close-up of the queen as she now asks Prince Ngor a question. If you can see the excerpt below. So we call that one number 3. Like I said, don't laugh at my drawing. If you're watching this video, then we're all on the same page. Okay, let's draw her crown here. Let me fast forward this a bit. Okay, so what I usually like to do is put the drawings on the left hand side. I think you can fit about like four frames onto one page. And then on the right hand side is where we have the text and the description. I usually like to put shot at the top. And so the shot is like the camera angles in the shot, what we discussed in the beginning, like close up. On this one is the close up on the queen. Then the dialogue, we put what is being said in that particular shot. So the dialogue will be when the queen asks Prince Ngor about which dress. Then the action is what the queen is doing. So she'll be holding each dress up as she speaks. And then we go into the next one, the next shot, number 4. which is when Prince Ngor replies. He puts down his magazine and replies. So let's draw this out. So once again, we put the text on the right hand side, the shot, which is a long shot, then the dialogue, which will be Prince Ngor responding to the Queen, and then the action will be Prince Ngor putting down his magazine and looking confused at the Queen before he responds. So I hope you understood in general. It's just brief tips that I'm giving you about storyboarding for those that can't draw like myself. So remember, it doesn't have to be beautiful, the drawings and the presentation. It just has to be able to show. Also, I've just added some storyboard samples for my film that I'm working on, animation film called Achan and the Three Kingdoms. As you can see, there are two different styles of storyboarding. I've used storyboard artists from Freelancer, as I wanted this project to be done very well. So these are the scenes from Achan when she's walking through the market. So I hope you enjoyed these, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we look forward to seeing you again on our next video. If you have any comments or questions or anything regarding the storyboarding, please feel free to write them down on our comment section. Please like, subscribe, and share, and tell your friends about this. Alright then, bye!